welcome back to Inside the Nest. I am not Emery Schuler. I'm Parker Morton.
And I'm Joseph Smith.
Today we're starting a new mini-series on exam prep, specifically focusing on English.
And for this series, we are going to be joined by our beloved English 3 teacher, Ms. Terrell.
Hey, yo.
And an AP English student, Madeline Thomas.
Hi.
So, we're going to be looking at a couple things for this series. But what are we going to focus on today, Ms. Terrell?
We are going to be talking about the writing strategy races. And I guess, I know I'm not interviewing here, but the question I have for you guys as a teacher is, what strategies have y'all used in the past, as far as writing?
One that I remember, it was called Unravel, Unravel. I don't remember what everything stood for. I remember U was underlined, R was, read through the questions, and, basically, it just made you... the point of it was just analyze the text from top to bottom, read the questions before you read the text, look back for your answers when you read the questions. It was really helpful for me in elementary school because I was kind of new to test taking.
Oh, yeah. Stressful.
I've used ACEs most of my high school career so far. It's simple, it's easy, and it works really well.
Yeah. How about you?
Then in English, too, we learned prep. That's my favorite one with Ms. Thomas. And then we also learned ACEs. And they both work very well.
Well, I have actually not really taught races before. I use prep. Miss Thomas is a prep queen, and I'm a prep queen as well. But in times past, I've had to correlate both, kind of showing students that they can use prep, but they can also use ACEs or races. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about races, and just to simply tell everybody what they are, do y'all want to kind of break down what the letters stand for?
Of course. So R is for restate, A is for answer, C is for cite, E is for explain, and S is for summarize.
Okay, so ultimately when you're looking at making a constructed response or building any type of answer to an argument or a question, you want to have good detail and you want to be explanatory. When you're having a conversation with someone, you don't just I hate it when someone responds with I don't know, or I just like it. That's not a great answer. You have to have some supporting detail. You have to have a reason and an explanation. So I always ask my students whenever I'm getting them to think about writing, I always ask them this base question because everybody has an opinion on it. And I'm sure that as soon as I ask it, you're going to have an opinion on it. If you had to pick a favorite fast food restaurant, what would it be?
I would say Zaxby's is one that I really like. I also really like Bojangles. Those are the two that come to mind.
Those are the really southern ones. I never heard of those until I came here.
Yeah, okay.
Chipotle for me, I think, is top tier.
I'm with you on the chicken, Parker. The chicken restaurants.
They are both chicken
They're
restaurants.
both chicken restaurants. Okay, and I'm just going to add in Chick-fil-A in there, but that's just me.
I like the Ninjas.
I don't
Off
think
Wayne
it counts
Memorial.
as fast food.
How does that not count as fast food?
There's no drive-thru. I feel like drive-thru is usually staple.
you go in
So
and pick it up.
what if the McDonald's is not have a drive-thru? What if it's Starbucks is on Wayne Memorial, but there's no drive-thru?
But there are other chains of it that have drive-thrus.
So now our definition of fast food is it has to have a drive-thru?
Lord have mercy.
I would also agree and argue that a fast food restaurant, I'm thinking a Wendy's or a McDonald's. You can
more
pass
convenient.
Through. Yeah.
I want to be able to drive through in my pajamas and not have anybody see me kind of thing.
Absolutely.
If I have to get out and walk in and interact with people that aren't just seeing me from the chest up, that's a no-go for me.
I think it could count because for a while, actually, no, never mind. I was going to say Cookout. I was going to say Cookout was only dine-in, but it was the other way around, so never mind.
Cookout is a strong second for me. Chick-fil-A is my
Really?
top. Yeah, I love I love Cookout.
I'm not a fan of Cookout.
Cookout's my second, too.
Yeah. I feel like it would be your top. You love Cookout, don't you?
That's my top two. Ninja and Cookout.
I'm just saying I feel like Cookout would be
I feel like Cookout has too many options that they can't actually be good at one of them.
Have you had their quesadillas?
I have not.
You should
that is a solid
not.
argument.
try their quesadillas and tell me otherwise.
I think I've had two things from them, to be fair.
Joseph,
But
chicken or beef quesadilla?
Oh, the chicken. I get 4 of them every time I go. I get the tray. I get 2
4?
quesadillas and 2 as a side.
They haven't been good the last couple times I got them.
Parker, you don't know what a good quesadilla tastes like.
I actually, Actually, I was a very picky eater, so that was like one of the only foods I would eat.
Don't hate on his safe
I'm a
food.
quesadilla connoisseur, Joseph. You don't,
Wow.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Don't hate Joe.
So what makes a good quesadilla?
What makes a good quesadilla has to have the right amount of cheese. The chicken shouldn't be burnt, cookout, and the tortilla shouldn't be burnt. And
It's not burnt, it's seasoned.
it tasted burnt.
Okay, y'all are doing such a great job. You're already answering questions that you would need to bring forth whenever you're answering just a question given to you and providing solid examples and explanation. Good for y'all. Okay, when we're looking at races, okay, because obviously we're talking about fast food, and this is what I would do in my class. So y'all are my students today. You are actually my students, but you're my English students today. I would ask them what their favorite fast food restaurants are, but just for the sake of the conversation and for the sake of choosing my own favorite fast food restaurant, we're going to go with Chick-fil-A. So I'm going to say and pose the question to you guys, why is Chick-fil-A the best fast food restaurant? Okay, and our job is to build a constructed response, okay? Now, just throwing out some things before we start, why would Chick-fil-A be potentially the best fast food restaurant?
I mean, besides their food, they have really good customer service.
Ooh.
They're very friendly.
I agree. What would you say, Parker?
We mentioned their food. We mentioned the customer service. They are great. It is a very popular restaurant. You'll notice, if you're from Goldsboro, you'll see it's always really busy. But they're very great at like managing the crowd and like
They're very
getting in and
efficient,
out.
yeah.
That's the word to use. It's very efficient.
They get those customers through the line. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They give you free sauce. Every time I've gone, you get extra sauce for free.
Huh. They have good lemonade, too. Yeah.
I'm just laughing because doesn't every fast food restaurant give you free
No,
sauce?
some
No,
charge.
they're being like
Am I-
Zaxby's is like an extra 50 cents for an extra
Yeah.
ranch.
Zaxby's
charge
is
for it.
set apart on its own planet. Like, I feel like that's different. I do know that they do that.
I disagree with that. I've been to Zaxby's and a lady has walked out with a tray of sauces and given them all as many as you want for free. How about them apples?
That's why I was laughing. Okay, just to get back to the meat of the matter. Okay, so Maddie mentioned that Chick-fil-A has great customer service. Okay, so when we're looking at races, the first letter of races stands for R, and it is R, and it stands for restate the question. So the question is what?
Is Chick-fil-A the best fast food restaurant?
Why is it the best fast food restaurant? So we would just restate and say Chick-fil-A is the best fast food restaurant because of their friendly and fast service. We've already answered that question. So when you're looking at restating, you're restating the question, then you move right down to answer. You kind of mix those two together. You're restating the question and you're answering that question by saying that they have friendly and fast service. Would that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so moving right along, we have to, of course, the lovely English word, cite evidence. Now, that's a little bit hard in this question because we're not necessarily citing evidence. There's no text for us to look for or look through here. But we're in this question, we're providing an example to back up our argument. Our argument being that Chick-fil-A is indeed the best fast food restaurant. It is superior to all your other fast food restaurants. So when you're looking at citing your evidence or giving an example, what might be like some things that y'all could say? Because I know it's not your top restaurant, but like what might be an example for y'all if you've ever been to Chick-fil-A of them having friendly and fast service?
I mean, there's a Chick-fil-A staple that's my pleasure. Anytime you interact with anybody from Chick-fil-A, it's my pleasure. Of course, my pleasure. I have friends who work there, and I get my pleasure all the time.
Absolutely.
At school.
And you know what? I have a student in my first period, and I wish he'd do that every day, and he doesn't. I'm going to have to get on him tomorrow morning.
I have Jaden Anderson. She says my pleasure whenever she gets the
amazing.
chance.
And they really, no matter like who you're dealing with, they always do.
Always my pleasure. Mm-hmm.
And I think they are very like attentive towards like who they hire. Like the process of getting to work there is very
They have higher standards than other.
difficult because they want to make sure that their customer service is top notch so that everyone who goes has a great experience. And I think that's something good about Chick-fil-A.
They say they have higher standards, but like everybody that I know that has a job like works there. Like, how does it manage that everyone gets the job?
Well, I will say, I mean, you're right. We do have a lot of students that work there, but that student I'm referring to, he just started working at Chick-fil-A, and I'll go ahead and shout him out. It's John Griffiths, and he did say that the process of hiring was really difficult. There was like several interviews that he had to go through. So I do agree. I mean, whereas like you would go to another job and I had an interview, I got the job. Chick-fil-A does take like, I don't know. That might be
some more time.
That might be some invested. We might want to have a whole podcast on like the hiring process of Chick-fil-A because we've got so many students. But anyway, so when y'all have provided such great examples. The My Pleasure is a perfect example of how Chick-fil-A provides friendly service, and they also provide fast service because y'all have been through that line before. It is chaos, especially like 6 o'clock at night or on the weekends at 12 o'clock. It is crazy. 12 o'clock like at lunch. So one example we could give. So if we have restated our question, if we've answered our question by saying Chick-fil-A is the best fast food restaurant because of their friendly and fast service, we could provide the example by citing specific evidence in our own lives that Chick-fil-A employees always respond with my pleasure after they meet you in the drive-thru with your order. We've already said that, right? So that would be a great way for us to cite our evidence, providing an example. So next we have to explain. We have to explain ourselves. Y'all, when you talk to a friend and like maybe you ask them like, hey, how do you feel about this? Or what did you hear about this at lunch? And they don't give you explanation. That is quite possibly the most frustrating thing if they don't provide further explanation. And people can't read your mind. Although that would be, I guess, a cool superpower to have.
Only sometimes.
It'd be terrifying. I would hate
It would be terrifying. So teachers and people who are grading your exams, they can't read your mind. You have to provide some explanation. So after you've given that example by saying Chick-fil-A employees always respond with my pleasure after they meet you in the drive-thru with your order, you have to explain that. So when someone goes to Chick-fil-A, they know that not only will the employees be respectful, but the food will also be hot and delicious because, well, let's be honest, how many times have you been to Chick-fil-A and they did not have the order hot, ready, and like it was just delicious when you got it?
I've never had that.
None that I can recall.
Joseph, be honest.
I've had it at Arby's though, and Wendy's. Wendy's and Arby's have given me cold, wrong orders. Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Well, I was about to say, like, have you not had it at Chick-fil-A because you don't really go to Chick-fil-A?
I went to Chick-fil-A last night.
What? I thought you didn't like Chick-fil-A.
Do you?
No, it's not my top 3, but I still went. I went with the first church youth. A couple of them went with us.
What is your order at Chick-fil-A?
The number 1 with macaroni and fries.
I should have known.
I have never had their mac and cheese.
It's so good.
You're missing out.
I know. I feel like I am.
See, that might be a reason that Chick-fil-A is superior to all other fast food
Mac and
restaurants.
cheese?
The mac and cheese. It's so good.
Their ranch is good. Chick-fil-A sauce.
Chick-fil-A sauce.
That is
set apart.
one of the best things in the world.
It's pretty easy to make at home.
Dip your chicken mini in the Chick-fil-A
How do you
sauce.
make it at home?
It's just like mayonnaise and mustard and some honey and then some, I forgot, there's a sauce you use. I forgot what it's called. Like the,
Barbecue sauce?
Well, there's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
sauce.
barbecue sauce. I don't know why I forgot what barbecue sauce is called.
You can do hard things, Joseph. Okay. Looking at our very last letter is summarize. You've got to bring it all, tie a pretty little bow together, bring it all together. So reading it all together, okay. Chick-fil-A is the best fast food restaurant because of their friendly and fast service. Chick-fil-A employees always respond with my pleasure after they meet you in the drive-thru with your order. When someone goes to Chick-fil-A, they know that not only will the employees be respectful, but the food will also be hot and delicious. So to summarize all of this and put a pretty bow on it, we might say something like, Chick-fil-A surpasses all fast food restaurants not only because of the quality of their food, but also because of the quality of their service. So, as lengthy and explanatory as it is, there is a method in the way that you can explain your answer. Half of the time, whenever you're sitting at lunch, kids ask these questions all the time. Like we have had an entire conversation on what fast food restaurants we believe to be superior or what our favorites are. But when you're sitting down looking at how to explain it, honestly, races is a great way to like even have a conversation with someone. Now you're not thinking in that way whenever you're speaking, but it's a great method to be able to cover all your bases. You restate the question, you answer the question, you cite or give an example. I will say this about cite. When you're sitting down for an English 2 exam, You are not going to be asked a question like, what is the best fast food restaurant? You're going to be asked, hey, in paragraph 2, what did this line mean? Or what was the effect of this on this? When you are citing your evidence, you want to say something to the effect of, in paragraph 2, so-and-so says, yada, yada. Have y'all seen those types of questions?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all the English 2 questions.
All the English
All
2
of them.
questions. And it's so lovely, isn't it? So when you're not obviously providing your own personal example, you actually have to go into the text and cite your source. But that is the only thing that separates us from the English 2 exam with this question. Again, citing your evidence and then explaining yourself is the best practice to giving a great constructed response and then putting a pretty bow on everything. So, yeah, I'm excited for my English 2 kids who are about to prepare to take this exam. What do y'all think?
I think it was a really hard exam to do because I didn't like reading. But if you like reading comprehension, it's very easy if you can do it good.
I mean, for me, it was just the length of the exam. I love reading fine. I'm a good writer, but it takes a lot of mental strength to even make it through the entirety of that test.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I mean, if I'm being really honest, I'm not a huge fan of standardized testing because I'm not a great test taker. But I think if you know the tips and the tricks to be able to like beat the system, and I hate to say it that way, but if you know what to do in order to like conquer it all, you're set. And to me, as a person who's not a good test taker, I love strategies like this. So anyway, hopefully that will help someone who's about to take their exam and just in general become a great writer.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening to this podcast. Be sure to stay tuned for tomorrow's episode where we are going to talk about literary analysis mastery.